Hello there. Thank you for calling. This is Garrett. How can I help you?
Hey Garrett, I had a leak in my kitchen. It's really
Urinary
bad.
incontinence? I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, you
Wait,
see,
no, wait, it's in the kitchen.
yeah,
Wait.
well, yeah, no, see, the leak in the kitchen is my urine. It's dribbling everywhere, and I can't stop it. I was cooking pasta for my family, and now I'm peeing all
Yeah.
over the floor.
Well, you're just so responsible. Like, you don't want to leave the pasta on the stove.
Exactly, but
I get
it's
in trouble for that sometimes. I'll leave something on the stove.
oh, that's not good. But
It's pretty
yeah,
terrible.
I'm dribbling on the floor. How would I fix such a terrible thing? I don't want my
All right.
wife to see while I'm cooking the Alfredo.
Well, let me look up some of our resources here and I'll figure out something.
All
I'll just go
right.
on hold for about 15 minutes, no longer. I'll be right back with it.
All right. Meanwhile, Garrett, while I have you on hold, I'm going to talk to my other friend Garrett, who happens to be in the room while I'm dribbling pee. Hey, Garrett, how's
Oh,
it going?
hello there. Thank you for calling. I'm Garrett too.
Hey,
Sorry.
Garrett, too. You see, I've been pissing all over the floor,
Oh
and
no.
I just think that I've ruined dinner for my family, so I'd like to
That's
place an order
terrible.
for a pepperoni pizza because I don't think I'm going to be able to finish the Alfredo.
Absolutely. What else would you like on that?
Can I get some olives and mushrooms?
Okay, we can do that.
Yeah.
Mushrooms are good. I'm really sad
Yeah.
that some people don't like mushrooms.
There's actually a lot of people who really don't like mushrooms, which I think
And
there's so many different kinds of mushrooms too, which I think
they're
is
like mushrooms, in my opinion, are little wannabe pieces of meat, and that makes them adorable.
true. What is so okay, mushrooms are fungi, right?
Yeah,
So
they're
is
fungi.
that's a vegetable then, right? Like you would
Yeah, they're a
consider
vegetable.
okay, they are a
They count as
vegetable.
veggies.
So
Um,
yeah, I mean, well there's a lot of things that
Pizza is a vegetable too.
no, that I don't know about that one.
Maybe if they put mushrooms on it.
Maybe I mean there would be veggies on it, but that doesn't
So
make the
I was thinking, so in design, whenever they're working on a project or like a deliverable of some sort,
yeah.
they have to come up with metrics of success to determine, whether or not the project is meeting certain goals. What's it
Right.
actually doing? Is it doing what we want? Um, this is a very difficult question to think about, but I kind of want to put it out there. What are your kind of metrics for success, just like as a person?
Oh man.
It's something that's in
Yeah.
design, but I also think that like it's real for people too,
Yeah.
and it's hard.
I think that's a really, really interesting question. I think I should preface by saying it really depends on the thing.
Mm.
Because I feel like there's no blanket. Well, maybe there is, but in my personal experience, I don't think there's a blanket metric for success for everything.
Yeah,
Um,
I just yeah.
yeah, but there's certainly individual things that I do on a weekly or daily basis that I'm like, yeah, these are certain I don't know if I'd call them qualifiers, but just certain check marks to determine like is this working out? Am I having
Yeah,
yeah, I would say like maybe in the context of like making YouTube videos because that's what I'm
yeah,
doing for a
that's a good
living right now.
example.
Um
Like an example that can be dangerous, but
yeah,
I think it's a good example
yeah. Uh
of how it can be dangerous.
there's a lot of different ways that uploading YouTube videos and like doing that as a source of income, even if you're not relying on it, it can be dangerous.
Hmm.
But uh, personally, I feel like if you're like happy with what you're uploading is a metric for success for yourself because if you're doing
Yeah,
something that you don't like or you're not having fun with it, maybe it's time to change it up or try something different.
yeah, I
Um,
agree. I think
yep.
most people that's an important one to have
Mm-hmm.
because it's hard to do anything that it's hard to do a lot of things in general if you don't like it at all.
Exactly.
You gotta like it at least a little bit to get yourself to continue going.
Hmm. Or like trick
I feel
yourself
like,
into liking it a little bit, right?
yeah, or trick yourself. I think that's possible too.
Yeah.
Um, I think another dangerous part of like metrics of success is when people like do pass or fail, like as in life. And that's
Mm-hmm.
something that I've been thinking about lately. Like there are people who measure their lives in certain ways as like pass or fail.
Yeah, it's
Um,
true.
I'll say what my metrics for success are, and like there's I think that they're subject to change, um,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm pretty confident in mine right now.
Yeah, yeah. What do you think yours are for like your job?
Yeah, so for my job, it's going to be a bit different, but like life,
Oh yeah, okay.
like
Why not both? Lay both
uh,
on me if you have.
so job is like don't do harm
Right.
and help people feel
Yeah.
better and get resources that they need. I'm not gonna say what my job is, I guess, but I think
Okay,
that
yeah.
that's an interesting thing to hear without knowing what my job is too.
Yeah.
Um, for life, I think it's just to pursue happiness without, you know, encroaching on other people in
Hmm.
terrible ways.
Yeah.
And I think that like, I don't know, I know people who their measurements are different and a lot more challenging to reach,
Yeah.
and it's a big struggle. And that is something I think about a lot.
A lot of people put a lot of pressure on themselves to succeed in life or at their career. Like I think for my career, my
Mhm.
expectations for myself and sort of my little check marks that I'm like, am I doing good right now? Are a bit more. They can sometimes get into the realm of being unrealistic, but for life,
Yeah.
generally for life, I just kind of try and stay by this motto I've had for several years now, which is that
Hmm.
what my goal in life is, at least it has been for several years, is to try my
Yeah.
best to make myself as happy as possible without ever attempting to sacrifice the happiness of someone
Same.
else. Yeah.
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 I mean, I think that people sacrifice each other's happiness out of necessity sometimes,
Yeah,
but like you try to do as well by others as you can, and
exactly.
you do right by yourself. But it's a difficult, it's precarious,
Mhm.
it's a balance,
Yeah.
and I've been thinking about that a lot lately,
Yeah.
mostly because of someone else I know who judges themselves very harshly.
Uh
Um,
yeah.
yeah.
I just today I was talking to multiple friends. I won't say who, but multiple friends I was talking to today who are coming to me and they're like, just man, I don't feel like I'm enough. I'm having a really difficult day and
Hmm.
just things get to me and I feel kind of worthless and like things aren't going to work out. And like I totally get that, especially when you're lost in the sauce, as it were.
Yeah,
It's sometimes difficult to kind
so
of
much
stand back.
sauce,
There's just too much Alfredo.
too much sauce.
Then you
I don't
get
even know where I am anymore.
I'm drowning in the sauce. It's so warm and delicious.
People drown in the sauce, though.
Yeah,
For real.
people do drown in the sauce for real, and it's very difficult when you're in a moment of intense emotion or self doubt. That it's difficult to kind of step back and be like, no, I'm worth it, and I can work through this, and ultimately,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be okay in the end. But when you're,
Or the like, it's okay that I'm here and I
yeah,
still want to get there. Like,
yeah, like I think that it is good to try your best to realize that no feelings are permanent. No place
yeah,
you're at in life is going to always be permanent. And, you're always moving, you're always changing, and you don't always have to be trying your best. Like, it's good to try your
yeah.
best, but you don't always have to, and that's okay.
Sometimes trying your best is being patient with yourself.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Like, honestly.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize. So back on that idea of I genuinely believe it's okay to not always try your best, even though I would encourage people to always try their best. You don't always have
Yeah.
to, but there's so many people who don't realize that sometimes trying your best doesn't mean putting all of your eggs in one basket and going really hard at
Yeah.
one thing. Sometimes it means taking
And
care of
sometimes trying your
yourself.
best doesn't mean it'll work out.
Yeah,
That's even harder to swallow.
I mean, when you're in the music industry like me, part
Oh,
of,
yeah.
you know, having it work out has nothing to do with trying your best, like
There's some luck in there for
there's
sure.
there's a lot of luck involved. It's of
Yeah.
course when it comes to any kind of art, talent is involved,
Mhm.
marketing is involved. Both of those
Oh,
two
yeah.
things I think go hand in hand. The
I'm familiar with
business,
the second one.
yeah, business and marketing is
Not a business major, but I understand.
still, yeah. Business and marketing is involved, and then your talent and skill are involved, but also I would say most of the time a tremendous amount of luck is involved if you're
Oh,
you're gonna
yeah.
quote unquote make it. And that's even another thing is that
That's
making it,
There's the opposite.
yeah,
Just
making it
because
is
someone makes
different.
it doesn't mean that they did it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
there's so much luck involved.
There's that too, and the goalposts are always moving because making it means a lot of different things to a lot of different people as
Yeah,
well.
I think Elon Musk is just such a great guy.
Yeah,
He really made it.
I think that yeah he's a great upstanding individual who completely 100% earned the wealthy position that he's in
Completely.
it completely.
No,
Yeah.
what's a blood diamond? Never heard of it.
But yeah,
When you get in the chip in your brain,
Yeah. Oh, right. That was that Elon
Yeah,
Musk who was like, yeah. So
it was.
we're gonna put. They got a little idea for a little. I.
Yeah.
What if somebody hacks that shit? What?
Yeah. I
What?
don't think it's gonna happen in the next in the near future. I don't think it's gonna
I genuinely don't think that most like 90% of the things that Elon Musk says this would be a good idea are going to happen because
happen.
most of them aren't practical. They're just like funny little like sci-fi ideas that have no actual real use
Yeah.
in our society.
Maybe we just make traffic but underground.
Yeah,
Maybe.
what if we just took traffic but we moved it under the ground?
Then you don't see it, but you might fall into a hole
Yeah,
like a video
exactly.
game.
What
But
if
I think that's a good example of the opposite of like
Yeah.
people who are in positions of power or have made it or have a lot going for them. You know,
Mhm.
there's some luck involved, and it's not necessarily about trying your best. There's
Yeah.
difficult to use the same standards for everybody. Metrics of success are complicated.
Yeah, yeah. It's different for every person. It's different for everything. We're all very complex creatures with very active brains that have a lot of thoughts about the ways that things should be in the world for us and for other people and the things around us, but we're all just
Yeah.
kind of monkeys running around doing our funny
Monkey.
little job.
It's true. Oh, I was at the zoo last weekend,
Oh yeah.
and there were gorillas, and
Gorillas.
there was a tiny gorilla child, and I was
Oh.
like, "That's just a hairy child."
Yeah, it's a hairy child that doesn't have quite as much developmental capacity as the average Homo sapien, but it's still just a little child.
Yeah, yeah. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. My computer went good night for a moment, and then it
Uh
came right back.
oh, stinky.
So I think another like funny thing about animals, like humanoid-looking animals like gorillas, like you can look at them and be like, "Oh, I see. There's a person there." Most animals, you have no idea what they're thinking. Even if they look like they have a human-like expression,
Yeah, you don't know.
if you look at a tiger, it looks hungry. It could just be mad.
Yeah,
Like
you
that's weird
don't
to think
know.
about too.
I
People are oceans apart.
it's so interesting to think because it's like we as humans have a very specific way that we think about things because of our society and even from like
Yeah.
culture to culture like the way
Yep.
that people think changes. So when you go to a completely different species you're like how the fuck does that thing think? Does it even think in
Yeah.
terms of like
What are the
hungry,
social
angry?
cues
Yeah,
of a
like
tiger?
what is that
Of a
tiger thinking
giraffe?
about?
Is
Oh
the
man.
giraffe whacking its neck against me because it wants to assert dominance, or is it because it loves me?
Yeah.
It's
Some
it's
sometimes
because they're fighting actually, but
because they don't like you. They don't want to assert. They want to kill you. They're
yeah,
afraid.
giraffes do that. They will whack each other's necks to each other.
Oh man, no, giraffes need to be friends.
That's how they fight.
Sometimes I look at a giraffe and I just get emotional because I just think that they're really pretty.
They are. It's really strange to see animals like that in person because you go, oh my, real? For
Yeah,
real? Believe it?
my
Crazy.
one of my buddies. I actually think I might have him on the podcast in the
Hmm.
coming weeks here. But I went to a zoo, and this was before the pandemic. This was a while ago. But he had
Yeah.
never seen a giraffe before in person.
You never seen a giraffe?
He'd never
Yeah,
seen one in person. I
that's
mean,
fair.
he had seen them like on the internet and stuff, but he'd never seen one in
Picture
person. And
book.
I'm like, I took him to the thing. I show him a giraffe. He's like, damn, that's a giraffe. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. No, especially if they get like up close to you,
Oh
that
yeah,
is like if you get close to an animal, you go, "Oh no, you're alive."
yeah,
Like
exactly. Your brain's like,
when I first
whoa,
met my partner's bird, like they
oh
placed it on my finger, and I felt like body heat from a living thing that was so
yeah.
small, and I
I
was,
mi-
"Oh no, you're alive."
I miss
How?
I miss Bean. I want to see Bean the bird.
Yeah, Dean is a very cute bird.
Yeah. How's what's I know that your partner got a new bird named
Yeah,
Lemon.
yep.
How
Lemon.
how are they doing? How's the other bird?
I assume that they're fine. I don't know a lot of details.
Well,
Um,
they are birds.
yeah, I was like, they'll get along. They're birds.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
not how that works. But
mm.
I think they actually have been getting along.
I don't think I've ever publicly announced, but I am now into bird watching, and I
Yeah,
love
you
birds.
are.
I love
I
birds
really
so
like
much.
seeing your commentary about it when you post your bird pictures.
Thank you. I just walk around the neighborhood and I take pictures of birds.
Yeah, I'll put it like a. I always do the same reaction emojis. You probably noticed.
Yeah,
Um,
you got the
I
crying, you
do
got the pray.
I do single tear crying. I do laughing, and I do the praying hands and a
Yeah.
thumbs up. Those are
react
my
to
go-tos.
react to me dribbling on the